Hey friends, so I know that some of you have followed me on Instagram, and I posted a photo of me. The point of the picture was me handing my heart, because I'm going to be, I have a playlist. Okay, I should say that. I have a playlist of plants, pain, and trauma, and I need to finish that. And this is perfect timing. Pam from Pammy's Planty Things and My Clean Leaves, Nicole. Pam reached out to me, and then Nicole tagged me on Instagram and sent me a message from there. And I was like, this is the perfect timing. Not only is it calling me to come forward, but it's also giving me the chance to show you imperfections, and that people can be poisoned, is a good word for it, by toxic people and having negativity in their lives. This is going to be hard. This is going to be very humbling for me. And I'm going to keep names, except one, private, so that I don't harm their channel in any way, even though that evil side of me wants to call people out, but I'm not going to. I have grown a lot. So my trauma, my drama, and my humanness and my faults are going to show in this video. And I have learned going through therapy that things trigger me. I haven't finished the trauma, plants, pain, trauma, and I need to, so that this makes more sense. Growing up, high school, I'm prefacing what I'm about to say. I would make a relationship, make a friendship, and it'd get broken. And then I'd make a relationship or a friendship again, and then it'd be broken. And a lot of that was to do with my friends becoming more popular than me, and I'd get pushed to the wayside. And this isn't a woe is me kind of a thing. It's not. I'm dealing with things in my marriage. My best friend things are getting better, even though it's still extremely hard, and I still have to go into a little bit more depth about me and Jeff. There's a lot of childhood abuse coming up in my therapy, and these are all things that I'm doing. It's called EMDR, and it's trauma that's basically blocked in your eyes, and it's released through this light bar. They do it on a lot of people who have post-traumatic stress disorder, and I have that, but it's due from medical trauma. So I'm learning a lot about that, and that is basically like what I'm learning. And the things that I thought didn't bother me as a child are bothering me now, and that I actually feel the hurt, and where I never could express it back then. I know this is all going to make sense to you, but all this planty kindness project, or plant kindness project, I can't remember, I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. And this called me out. So earlier years in my life, either a friendship would break up because that friendship would end when I was a drinker, when I partied a lot, and when I decided to become sober. I still remember it like it was yesterday, going to that house of my friends, because my friends rented out their own house, and they partied, they drank all the time. This is after I got out of a physical abuse relationship that I told you in the last plants, pain, and trauma video. And I went because I had left my wallet there, went in, friends, and I was like, I have to get sober. I have to get sober. I have to get my life straight. And of course, all 5 of those friends were like, yeah, we can hang out sober, no problem. Never heard from them again. So what my friends were supposed to be were not my friends. Drinking brings everybody together, just so you know. You can make friends while you're drunk, and it's like you're all friends and you're really not. You don't even know each other. I'm not saying that drinking's bad. I'm just saying everybody's friends when they're drunk. Total side trail. And I would have friends use me for money. I would have friends use me because I was compassionate and I was very giving. I don't just give to give. I literally have a gift that I love to give. I love to bless. I love to do whatever I can, not to please someone, but to show my love. And so I was handing them all of this love and this friendship and time. I'm a quality time person. And I basically got bit, is how I felt. And so I started building up this badass character for myself, because when you look tough or you feel like you're playing the part where you're tough, I trained to become a bodybuilder. When you portray to be, I guess, tough or buff or stone face, or we call it RBF. We all know what that means. And if you don't, hit me up on Instagram, I'll tell you. But I was not friendly looking, I should say. And I wore the spikes, I wore the needles, I wore the outfits that said, don't mess with me, don't come near me, I don't have time for you. And I started getting super horrible trust issues, and especially with the marriage stuff that me and my husband are going through now and getting healing. I'm crossing my fingers, Lord, that we're trying to get healing for now is like set it off a million times more, because he was the one I was supposed to trust the most. And this is just a battle that me and him are going through. It'll be in a separate video. But so I learned that everyone is out to hurt you, and I built this up. I truly have good friends who have been in, especially the plant community. I started my plant collection because of trauma, because of hurt, because of emotional pain. It's a source of coping for me. Instead of going out and shooting up with heroin, which I could have done, I chose plants. And even though it's still a form of me coping or dealing, it's a healthy way of doing it, is how I look at it. I don't care if it's called an addiction or obsession. And then people don't understand that. That's why I love the plant community. People don't understand what plants mean to each person. That's what I forgot to mention on my plant giveaway. There's a story behind each person's collection of plants. It's not, some people legitimately love them, they love collecting them, but there's either a pain behind it, there's a coping, there's trauma, there's abuse, there is something behind each person that finds a peace in collecting, in taking care of, a satisfaction, yada, yada, yada. I know I'm going on. I just want this to be really real. I got angry at a fellow YouTuber, and it wasn't even her. It wasn't her. She did nothing. Absolutely nothing. And there was something that just triggered me when I would listen to her. And it wasn't even her. It was the friendships that I had before. You know, I'm going to say it. So Alicia, off of Leslie's Leaves, had triggered me because she was a sweet, outgoing, bubbly, fun person. And here I am. I don't know her story, but I had trauma, I had hurt, I had pain. I'm going through it currently. I'm still in therapy, and I'm going through it, you guys, right now. And I've said that very clearly in my last plants, pain, and trauma videos. I've said that over and over again. I'm going through it, and it's going to take years to heal from. A lot of pain and hurt. And a stem from hurt and pain is anger, bitterness, and I'm trying to release it. And it is hard, especially when that's all I've known my whole life. Protect yourself. Get on guard. Don't let anybody in. Block. There are certain people that are toxic that we have to block out. And I had to do that with a fellow YouTuber that I picked up the phone and I texted and I said, why does this girl bug me? And I'm talking about Alicia. And her and I have talked, me and Alicia, on the phone. I hope I'm saying that right. Alicia or Alessia. And everybody would probably be shocked because I know my friend Elizabeth said that I'm one of the sweetest people. I know my friends would be shocked because they love her too, Myra, Davi. Like, I feel guilty, you guys. I hate that I allowed myself to be poisoned by someone else too. And I hate that I was so negative and I was so hurtful. And I feel very blessed that Alicia just forgave me like that. I'm hoping that she did. And I reached out to her and I told her that I was mean. I told her that I had said not very kind words to her. And this whole planty kindness thing, I felt like was a perfect opportunity to show kindness to someone, and also a humbling let in to saying that I care for you. Things were being said about her right and left, and this person who I had chosen to confide in and chosen to vent to gossip with, is extremely negative. And I know she's going to watch this video because she's another YouTuber, and I'm going to keep her name out of this because she knows who she is, and it's going to piss her off that I'm saying this. But I'm not the one who I'm not her, so I'm not gonna do that. Extremely negative, said very derogatory, demeaning, racist comments. And before me and her had our blow up on the phone, I had stopped talking to her. And this is the drama that I have dealt with, like recently, kind of like maybe a month ago. And I wasn't doing YouTube posts a whole lot. I was just tired. I deal with a lot. And I'm not just like, oh. I deal with a lot with my young daughter, my son being autistic, you guys, yada, yada, yada. You know my backstory. If you've been with me for a while, me and my husband have had horrible marriage problems. I still love him. We're still hanging on. We're both broken. We're all broken inside. We all have our faults. We all have our downfalls. We're not perfect. And I talked to this person, and she is negative. And I decided after the racist comments that I wasn't going to be talking to her or engaging her anymore. And when I tried to lift up it, because in therapy I'm working through this, and I found out it wasn't even Alicia, the most beautiful, kind soul you will ever hear on YouTube. It was the fact that she reached out to me, and she reached out to me, and she reached out to me. I was asking about this plant and this plant, and then she started getting all these plants, and I was like, jealousy kicked in. This is just me. This is on my side. And I started becoming hurt. And then, Alicia, I have never seen you, if you watch this, anyone's channel grow like yours did. And it wasn't the fact that it had grown so fast that I got upset or hurt. I've talked to Alicia about this as well. I just said, I felt like because of my triggers and because of my past of friends becoming popular or like choosing other things, I had friends even saying, there's one night where I'm a homebody, you guys. I'm such a homebody. And I was looking at my 5 friends and I was like, can we just stay home tonight instead of going and partying? Can we just watch TV, maybe even drink just all together and just hang out? And I was like, I said to them, I go, would you rather party or would you rather like hang out all together, hang out with me? And they said, no, we'd rather party. That's the kind of hurt that I didn't think hurt me, but it really did, because we can all remember memories of hurt. We do. Things that have imprinted in our memory. And that's usually either trauma and we don't realize it. Or it's something that affected us that we didn't really know affected us that bad. So this is what had triggered me about Alicia, is that once she got pretty popular, which I understand, when you get more subscribers, it demands a lot of time and devotion. And I love the fact that some of those people who have like 20,000 some subscribers still get to everybody. Like, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. I wish I did. I know I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I deal with a lot on a daily basis, and therapies and support groups and a young daughter and yada. I reached out to Eric. So I backed off of that relationship, the one that was toxic to me. She had my personal cell phone. I blocked her from that. We had a conversation. I called her crazy and I called her a liar because I caught her in a lie. I started asking her questions about the racist comments because she has other friends who are from different ethnicities, and I don't even like call them race, or like what do they call them? Like a different races. I hate that name. When people say that, I hate that. We're all human. We're all human. We're the human race. Like, all that's different is the melanin in your skin. But and her reply to that was like, that's just the way I was raised. It's just the way I talk. And I wasn't getting anywhere. And I'm not trying to make her feel bad. It just was a relationship that was toxic and negative. And I could feel the weight of it. So I backed away from it. And then about a month and a half later, I made a comment on Alicia's page on her it wasn't an anthurium, it was her gloriosum. A new leaf had popped out, and I was like, this looks absolutely gorgeous, it's huge, or something along those lines. I can't even remember. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, this person was like, so we got in this huge argument, or actually, we talked for like 4 or 5 hours on the phone that night. She told me that you can't trust everybody, and so this long conversation. And I know this is taking forever. Long conversation. At the end, not even like a couple days later, she did a video. I texted her because she had lied in the video, and I have the proof. I'm not going to show, I'm not going to do that kind of thing. And I called her out on a couple things, and she had just this one episode with Alicia because I had vented and I had confided in her about Alicia. And she kept going to that one subject. Well, you're not Miss Perfect either. You talked about this girl and this girl, and this is all she could point to me. And I'm like, yes. And I've talked to Alicia, and I told her I was sorry. And when I cut that person out, when I blocked their number, when I stopped following them, there's a point where you gotta cut toxicity out of your life, and I did. And you guys, I adore Alicia. Alicia, if you're watching, I adore you. I love watching your video. I love your plants. And I know this is pretty ballsy getting on here talking about this, and I may lose some friends, and this isn't the point of what I'm trying to do. I want to do this planty kindness thing, as in reaching out. I'm still going to get her a plant. Alicia, I'm still getting you a plant. It's a way I can show my love and my genuineness. I don't want to buy your love. I just buy your friendship. I want to give you something like a peace offering, I guess. I don't know. I'm still going to buy her a plant. I'm going to still buy you a plant. I'm still going to send it to her or you next month. Me and my husband talked about it already because it was really bothering me. And so I talked to Alicia and I told her I was sorry, and she forgave me. And after the person who was very negative was cut out of my life, I felt lighter. And it made me come to realize, I was like, boundaries negative people don't need to be in my life. That's why my circle of friends is very, very small. And I'm learning to cut out, even my own family members, I cut out some of them. Just to be like, nope, this is my life. I'm not going to live it. I'm not going to allow stuff that brings me down, makes me feel heavy, makes me talk crap about other people. And I was sucked into it. I hate the fact that happened. And so I'm sorry to all my subscribers, all my friends, because I don't want you to think negative or think, wow, this isn't worth it, because I want to be real. I want to be as real on camera as I am in real life. And that's who I am. And that's who I try to be. And it's hard when I'm talking to a camera, but I try to imagine you guys sitting here with me. Like, looking at each one of you and saying, I'm sorry for maybe breaking trust with someone, or I hate crying. I don't like crying, you guys. Telling you guys I'm sorry that I allowed the toxic, allowed the poison, allowed that disease to grow in me like that. And Alicia, I am so sorry. I hate that I let myself do that. And I know we need to forgive ourselves, but I have never felt so heavy and so burdened. And I told her in the message, I just go, Alicia, it was still in me. I wanted to feel like at peace, and that's why I knew I had to reach back out to you. But it wasn't her, and it wasn't her fault. It was nothing that you did. It was in me. It was something that I had to work through. And that's why a lot of the time someone will bug us, or someone will prick us the wrong way, or you just like, why does this person bother me? Check inside yourself. This may be kind of a dampering thing to say, or not uplifting like it should be with the Planty Kindness Paying It Forward, but mark my words. Alicia, please don't get one. The way I can show my love is that I have an in on getting a Monstera Albo, and I'm going to send you one next month. So please don't invest in getting one. You can have two if you want to and then get one, but I would love to send you that in the month of October as just a gift of, it's not like we're buddy, but a gift of appreciation that you forgave me. And I want to make you smile, and I would never want someone feeling like I'm talking SHIT behind their back. I don't ever want that to happen again. I know I'm going to have downfalls. We're not perfect. We live in a mean world. We live in a very heavy world. And I want to just give you that kindness from the bottom of my heart, and call negativity out when negativity needs to be called out. And the manipulation and the lying, let's love one another. The plant community, you guys, it's plants. I got on here too because of trauma. Because it helped me. Because I was looking for an outlet of me and friends. Let's lift one another up instead of tearing each other down. I was actually going to name my YouTube channel Salty Joy, because I knew I was joyful, but at the same time, I know Rachel, if Rachel watches this from Heart-Shaped Leaves, she's going to be like, salty, because she called salty, I don't know if it was bitter or upset because she didn't get her Monstera Albo from Steve's Leaves, but she said something about salty. I love that show. Or not show. It's feels like you're watching a show, but I love that channel, and I love her. I love Nikki from Plants, Pots, and Whatnots, and I love Pam, and I love Davi and Myra, and the list can go on and on and on and on and on and on. And so I was going to be Salty Joy, but I think someone else already had that. And so I have the name. I love Sarah Bird as well. She pronounced the name right. She's doing a giveaway as well. Sarah Bird. If you guys have not checked Sarah Bird out, please do. You will love her. She lives in the UK. Beautiful ginger. I love her. I love her cat eyes. I love her style. I love that she's into those little weird trinket things that I love with her dogs. I can never remember her other dog's name. I always remember Winnie because she's always like, Winnie. Anyways, I know I'm going off a rabbit trail. I love to talk. And so, so yeah, but I came with, it stands for Illuminating Life. Illume Life. I know people will say alum. It's not alum, even though it may look like that. It's Illume Life. And so that is all I wanted to say. I'm going to be doing a tour. Hopefully my next planty thing will be my tour of my plant room, new shelving. Please follow me on Instagram. It's where a lot of people see my pictures or what I'm going to be posting next, or as much as I can, I try to make time for that kind of thing. So I live life. Life gets busy, but God bless you guys. I hope you all understand the planty kindness, the humblingness of this video, being called out by Pam, and I hope you all enjoy. God bless.